Hey guys, Aaron Miller, Principles of Hunting here in Southern Missouri, and I'm bringing you one of my next gear videos in my series on what I use this year. This year was not necessarily successful from bow season standpoint, but for me as a learning and growing hunter, it was actually quite successful as I really kind of took on a lot of new things this year. One of the big things that I did take on was saddle hunting, and that was something that I really didn't have a lot of experience with. Been doing a lot of research into why saddle hunting and what saddle hunting is good for. Went through a several video series by Hunting Public and G2 Outdoors and several other YouTube channels that have a lot of experience with using saddles and the different options that were out there. Today's video for me is just the general platforms that I've used in hunting this year and how I utilize them. And I'm going to start with my main one, which is my saddle platform and what I used a majority of this season. I didn't really keep track of how many sits that I actually did this year. If I had to guess just right off the top of my head, I would probably say somewhere around 14 or 15 times getting out this year in bow season. And of those 14, 15 times, I personally used my platform a majority of that time except for about 2 hunts. And then 2 of the other hunts that I did with a buddy of mine, we actually used my XOP stand and my saddle platform as we did a couple hunts together. And so this particular piece that I'm going to show you in just a minute is the piece that I used probably the most. And in the fact that saddle hunting is becoming what I'm trying and what I'm using in my time crunches after school, the hurry up hunts that I get in on those occasions, and then trying to figure out whether this platform or this stand or what I will use moving forward for longer sits. So first things first, this is from Out on the Limb. It's called a Solo Scout, and I bought this pretty much the very first part of the year. I think I did one hunt in my homemade platform that I started with last year, and then I ended up purchasing this. And the main reason I did that is because my homemade platform was not as quiet and easy to set up as I really would have wanted. This is about a 4-inch wide or 10-inch wide by about 4 inches long step that you stand on with about a 30-degree angle on it, and it weighs about 3 pounds with the strap. It's a very simple thing that I can put into my pack and carry out to a stand with me, get up into a tree, set this, hang my tether, lean back, and set up whatever other gear I wanted to set up and hunt. That is the main reason that I went with this year, and it cost me about $75. So as I started this year, I had a goal to really use saddle hunting more and more as the year went on, and I really got a chance to do that. I didn't have to spend a whole lot of money this year, but I did choose to go ahead and buy this platform as it was something that could easily be set up. It's already comes with the loop attached with just a rubber band around it that keeps it on the knob. You swing it around the tree. It has a cam strap on it that you hook on the other side. Same thing, it has a rubber band that you pull down to keep that strap on the braces and the knobs of the stand. And then you just tighten it down and you roll it up, tighten it against the tree, slide it up the tree just a little bit. And when you cam this thing over, if you've done it even semi-solid, this stand does not move hardly at all when you're getting into it, getting out of it, and trying to move around for shots. So I was very happy with this product. I was very happy with getting it into my pack because I could literally take this, put it in my backpack just like this. It was only about 3 pounds. I didn't hardly have to do much with it. You could hook it on your saddle going up and down the tree. Hardly any weight whatsoever, and very, very easy to set up. I did most of my hunts out of this. There were several times where I was trying to get some shots where I'd have to lean to the side of the tree. It didn't work out. I didn't get to take the shots, but I never really worried about the stand moving on me or making noise. I was very happy with this, and it worked very well. And the reason I did use this, as I said earlier, is the run and gun style that I have. My time crunches of being at school, getting out of school at 3:30, 3:45, having to get into the woods quickly, changing and all of that stuff having to happen. I didn't have a lot of time to carry a lot of gear to the woods, and especially time setting that gear up. So I was able to get up a tree, set up with my basic hunting equipment, within about 20 to 30 minutes. Probably not even that. I could be from my truck to the hunting places that I wanted to go. I didn't have very long walks to get there, and up in a tree in less than 20 to 30 minutes. And that was with me changing all of my gear, putting everything on, walking to the woods, getting this up into a tree, getting on this platform and having my bow hung and ready to hunt. Adding the camera gear and everything like that to get on the tree took a little bit longer, but I was able to get out and hunt very quickly with this platform. The other piece I wanted to show you real quick today is this. The XOP stand that I did a review on a couple months ago actually on my channel. You can go back and watch that, but this was a stand that I did use a couple times myself, and then the last month or so, the last couple weeks of season, my buddy and I, Benjamin, went out and did a couple of tandem sits together, and this is what he used while he was in that tree. And this is a XOP Air Raid Evolution that I got from a program called Hunter's Trust Reviews to use, review, and then I was able to keep it. So this was a stand that I picked up. It's about 12 pounds, and carrying it in and out of the woods, if you're not used to carrying a heavy air pack or things like that, can get a little bit heavy, but it worked very easily to get up and down a tree. Surprisingly, for a hang-on stand, it didn't take much longer to hang this stand as it did my saddle platform. Maybe a little bit longer just because you have to go through a couple more steps with the extra straps and things like that. But as for getting it up the tree, it really wasn't a whole lot more than just pulling it up. In fact, the first couple times I went by myself, I was able to wear this on my back, get to where I needed to hunt, take it off my back, hang it on the tree, then I could pull my bow up and get ready to go. It really wasn't that heavy or awkward. When we went out tandem together, I was able to go up into the tree, set up my saddle platform, pull this up on my utility string, hang it on the tree, get it set up, and my buddy was able to climb up after me, get in the stand, and we were able to hunt within about 30 minutes. It really didn't take a whole lot of time to get this set up. So I was very happy with the setup. Makes a little bit of noise carrying through the woods. I've got a gear tie on it down here to make sure it doesn't flop around at all. But overall, a pretty quiet stand, pretty stable stand. Never had too many problems with it moving or making noise. And I would use this on probably a little more permanent sit type of a location, like an all-day type of a sit. In the saddle platform area, for me, that was my go-to this year just because it was easier to get out, get hunting with a saddle than it was to try to carry a stand, get everything set up, move things around, get camera gear, because I could just keep it all right in front of me. If I didn't want to set up my camera gear, I could leave it hanging in my bag and I was ready to hunt. The stand was something I was trying out and utilizing, and I will probably use this a little bit next year. The thing that I didn't necessarily like about the stand over my saddle platform is there was a lot less weight. A 3-pound step, my saddle that I wore in, and my camera gear in my backpack, basically very little weight. If I was going to carry the stand, I have to carry the backpack, which has my camera gear. I have to carry the stand, my sticks, and my bow, and I don't really have a lot of extra space for the things that I had in my pouches. So my rangefinder, my saw, my tether, all of those things that I carried on my saddle were not in the saddle anymore. I had to make sure they were in my backpack. So I didn't necessarily like going back and forth too much unless it just absolutely was necessary for me to do, which I did do a couple times at the very beginning of the year because I was actually waiting for this platform to come in. And while I was doing those sits, I didn't have any problem with the stand. It worked very well. In fact, I actually saw several pretty good deer out of this stand. I just couldn't get a shot at them. So I'm hoping that as I go into next year, as I practice using these two things this summer and different setups, I might be doing some scouting out of the stand and just seeing how deer move in the areas that I'm working on food plots. I'll be able to get a little bit better feel for how I want to hunt next year. But I will tell you, for me personally, the gear that I used the most was my saddle and the Out on the Limb Solo Scout. It was a very effective tool for me to get in and out of the woods quickly and effectively. I'm hoping that next year I'll be able to bring you guys some footage of me actually getting something with these products. But this was a first for me as I went through a lot of learning when it came to how to use my tether properly and tether heights, comfort while I was in the saddle, how to utilize the saddle effectively, how to set it up, and where to get to things quietly and effectively. Learning how to take shots out of a saddle, strong side and weak side. There was a lot of things that I had to learn this year, and I'm still learning from saddle hunting. So I'm hoping that you guys will continue following along with the channel. I hope you guys will hit subscribe and like down below and follow the videos, because my plan for the moving forward in the future is to start getting some food plot videos fired up for this summer, and that will be coming up very, very shortly. Even though season has finished here in Missouri, right now my plan is to start getting ready for next year. And I hope that you guys are able to follow along with me on that. I've been getting a lot of good feedback, and I really appreciate the things that are happening on the channel. I don't have a lot of subscribers, so if you know people that are looking for some down-to-earth, simple information, shoot them this way, have them hit subscribe and check out some of the videos. I hope to be sharing more content with you very, very soon. So stay tuned to what's coming up. Get out and enjoy the outdoors, guys. Have a great night.